Morning, everybody. It is Am Lee, your everyday light worker, and we're here to talk about what work looks like during late stage capitalism. We're looking at it through the lens of the show called Succession, which really wasn't about work at all. It was about a very wealthy family and all of their dysfunctional shenanigans and dynamics around what they were trying to do to retain their wealth, which was billions. So it shouldn't have been as difficult as they were making it, but it became so. This billionaire family had this cousin who was unaware that he was related to these billionaires, and his name was Greg. So the show starts out with Greg working at a entry level job, and these jobs oftentimes are demeaning, difficult jobs. So he gets a job at a theme park where he is working as one of those, I don't know what you call them, the people who wear the costumes that are imitating the whatever the cartoon characters are. Well, he's wearing one of those costumes at a theme park. It's like a Disney style theme park. So, imagine he's got on this huge Mickey Mouse head. He starts his workday by getting high. I think a lot of work people start their day like this because their jobs are so degrading and demeaning. This is how they get through it, by getting high. Problem is with Greg, he's not accustomed to getting high. So when he gets to work, it's his first day, he does the orientation. He's high, he's not paying attention. Then when he gets his costume on and he starts to walk around the theme park and the kids start to chase him, he doesn't react appropriately. All the kids start messing with him because kids are smart. And he starts to fight with the kids, and then the kids attack him. He falls down. He starts throwing up because he's high. And then he gets fired because they are become aware, you smell like marijuana, and they fire him. So he calls his mom, and he's like, Mom, I was trying to work, but I lost my job. And she's like, this is stupid. You're related to billionaires. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to these billionaires and throw you on them. And then, we're going to, you're going to climb that corporate ladder. So that's what he essentially figures out how to do, how to climb the corporate ladder with his billionaire cousins. But it's really, really difficult for him because it's such a vicious environment at the top. So this is someone who starts at the very bottom of the workforce ladder and shoots up to the top, the very top of the workforce ladder. But he is not, it's immediately when he gets there, this company is now on the up and up. So immediately he's given the grunt work, the crap work, which is doing a whole lot of unethical stuff, destroying documents, lying to people. And that's his introduction into the workplace, really, because this is really his first job. He had a first job on the bottom. He was fired immediately because he's not following the rules. So when you start at a workplace, especially a corporation in the bottom, they have like what they call orientation. And in the orientation, they give you what I call the party line. They tell you everything the corporation should be, and it's great, and it's wonderful. And, half of that stuff is not true. When you go to an orientation, listen to everything that they say, but at the same time, know that most of it is probably half true or just blatant lies, quite honestly. I'm just being real. And then when you make your way up, you can only make your way up through that ladder by paying attention to the unwritten rules. So Greg is someone who quickly learns how to pay attention to the unwritten rules because there are a lot of rewards for the unwritten rules. Now he has a mentor named Tom. Tom and both of these people get into the highest heights by being related. So Tom marries the boss's daughter. So the main CEO and owner of this huge corporation is called Logan Roy. So he has 4 kids, and his daughter's name is Saban or Shiv, and Tom decides to marry her. And so that's how he gets into the corporation. Once he gets into the corporation, he decides to take Greg under his wing and just bully and torment him ungodly. It's comical, but kind of sad how much this character, Greg, is bullied. And it shows, what people go through when they are at the top of those corporations. It's true. It's a vicious environment. So why do people do it? Why do people climb? Why do people want to get to the top? Because there are plenty of benefits for being at the top. So we'll take a look at what the benefits are for Greg in a second video that I'm going to link. So the first video that you should take a look at is, how Greg gets started in this theme park and how that ends for him. Like, I would say 2 hours in, he doesn't last there very long. Then his mother sends him to the Billionaires in New York. He gets in. It's kind of weird how he gets in. He's just there. He tells the Billionaires that he's their cousin. They really don't care, but they're like, you want to hang out with us? Then you better do what we ask you to do. And, from that point on, he's in. However, as he gets in, he begins to see the benefits. So he's in New York. I don't know where he was coming from. I'm going to say Florida because it looks like he started at a theme park that's like Disney. So we'll say Florida. And then when he gets in, he's working his way up and doing various tasks for people. One of the things that he's doing for his cousin, who is a very, very high-ranking executive, his cousin's name is Kendall, the one that was in the video prior where Kendall was firing his executive assistant because she was like, look, I'm not going to do unethical things. Now, Greg will. He will do anything unethical. He doesn't have any issue with this. So Kendall asked him to get him some coke, as in cocaine. And Greg says, okay, I can do that. And how Kendall rewards Greg for getting him the cocaine, which obviously illegal, is he gives him an apartment. And Kendall needs an apartment. He's looking for an apartment. He needs a place to live. And before Kendall gives him this apartment, you see the apartments that Greg is looking for. And on his salary, he can afford an extremely small apartment in New York. Apartments are extremely difficult and always very small when you're just working a regular job. So Kendall, who is his cousin, who's very wealthy, says, hey, I bought 5 of these apartments because I want to flip them. And by the way, while I'm doing that, here you go. You can stay in this one. So Greg sees the benefits of doing whatever these rich people ask him to do. And he doesn't care if it's unethical, illegal. And that's because there are substantial benefits to it. So that's what you see in terms of climbing up the corporate ladder is people willing to do these things, willing to do things. I mean, at one point, Greg is afraid he might go to jail because of things that he's done. But the payoffs are worth the risk, or that's what, Greg has determined. So there you have it. And again, these are the kind of decisions that people have to make if they are going to stay in their high-level corporate positions. These are real life choices that the show really shows the kind of dynamics at play and what people have to do if they want to get to the top of the corporate ladder. So check out the videos below. They're kind of hysterical. Greg is a character. He's sort of an everyman character on Succession, trying to make his way among the billionaires for 4 seasons, and he tried really hard. And at the end of 4 seasons, he just didn't get very far. He never got very far. So, and it's difficult. It wasn't for a lack of trying. He tried very, very hard. So, kind of gives you a taste of what the world of work is like these days. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be depressing, But I do want to tell you the truth, and it it is what it is. That show, Succession, on HBO, now Max, did a really, really good job of just laying it on the line for what it really is.